Welcome to the Velvet Myth. My name is Adam, and it's so lovely to have your company. Thanks for tuning in. It's my great privilege to be the voice that you listen to as you go to sleep tonight. I do hope you enjoy listening as much as I enjoyed recording all of these stories. And I'd really love for all of you, our wonderful community, to let me know if you like the stories that I've prepared. So, when you wake up tomorrow morning, it would mean a lot if you could pop back here and leave a comment of gratitude for me. Now, before we get started, make sure you're lying comfortably. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your whole body, and enjoy a couple of deep, soothing breaths, drawing the air in and gently releasing it back out. Now you can simply relax and listen along for as much time as you like, knowing you can drift off whenever you are ready. So, let's begin. There is a gate at the end of a path you almost didn't notice. Half hidden behind a curtain of ivy, its iron hinges dark with age, it stands slightly open, as if someone left it that way, just for you, just tonight. And beyond it, barely visible through the shifting grey of the rain, something waits. Something quietly alive, something warm. You find yourself drawn toward it. The rain is steady now, not urgent, not dramatic, just present, the way a river is present, moving through the world in its own unhurried time. It falls in soft, layered curtains across the garden, catching what little light remains in the sky and dissolving it into a fine silver mist. You can hear it on the broad leaves of the hostas lining the path, each drop landing with a soft, deliberate tap, like a fingertip touching still water. You can hear it soaking into the dark soil beside the stepping stones, a quieter sound, almost underground, a slow drinking in. And you can hear it on the stone path itself, a gentle, continuous percussion that rises and falls as the wind breathes through the garden. You step through the gate. The iron is cool under your fingers for just a moment, slick with rain, and then you are inside. The path curves immediately, as if it wants to hide its destination a little longer, as if it knows the anticipation is part of the gift. The hedges on either side are tall, taller than you expected, and their dark, dense foliage holds the rain in trembling beads along every edge. The smell here is extraordinary. Wet earth and something green and alive. The particular sharpness of leaves after rain. The faint sweetness of late-season blooms somewhere nearby, invisible in the dimness. You breathe it in slowly. Your shoulders drop a little without you deciding to let them. There are lanterns along the path, spaced far enough apart that the light between them fades almost to nothing. They are the old kind, with small amber flames that waver softly inside their glass, not fighting the darkness so much as keeping a quiet company with it. The rain streaks down their glass panels in thin rivers. The glow they cast is warm and low, painting small circles of gold on the wet stone and making the hedges glow faintly green at their edges before the dark takes over again. You walk through one pool of light, then the next, and the movement feels rhythmic, like breathing. Your footsteps are muffled by the rain. The whole garden is muffled. That is the thing about rain. It softens the world. It rounds off edges. It takes every sound that might be sharp or intrusive and wraps it in something gentle until only the softest things remain. The tap of a leaf releasing its gathered water, the distant low murmur of water moving through a stone channel somewhere to your left, the sigh of the wind as it passes through a stand of tall ornamental grasses just off the path, their seed heads bowing slowly, recovering, bowing again. You are in no hurry. There is nowhere else to be. The whole world has contracted, quietly and completely, to this garden, this path, this rain, this darkness that feels less like absence and more like a kind of presence, soft, patient, entirely unhurried. The path bends again, and here the hedges give way briefly to an open section bordered by low stone walls. Moss covers them in thick, velvety layers, deeply green even in this low light, drinking the rain with visible satisfaction. The path widens slightly, and you notice that the stepping stones here are larger, older, worn smooth at their centers in a way that speaks of many quiet evenings, many slow walks, many years of someone finding their way through this garden in the dark. You follow where they lead without needing to think about it. Your feet find the right stones. Your body knows the way, even though you have never been here before. The cool air moves around you in slow currents. It touches your face, your hands, the back of your neck. Not uncomfortably cold, just present, just real. Just the particular sensation of being outside in the autumn dark with rain in the air. There is something clarifying about it, something that makes all other concerns feel very far away, in another world, on another night entirely. You become aware of something ahead. It is subtle at first, just a faint quality of the air changing, a slight warmth that shouldn't quite be there, a softening of the darkness in a way that doesn't match the lanterns. The path curves once more through a low arch of trained climbing roses, their canes bare now, their thorns catching tiny drops of rain that hang and tremble and fall. And as you pass through the arch and the path straightens again, you see it. Not clearly, not yet. It is more of a suggestion than a sight. A geometry in the darkness that is different from the organic shapes of hedges and trees. Something angular, something constructed. And within that geometry, a faint luminescence, very soft, very low. The kind of glow that could be mistaken for imagination, except that it is steady and warm and unmistakably alive. Glass catching the rain. Glass holding something behind it. A structure half consumed by climbing plants, its outline blurred by years of growth, its presence half secret even now, even when you are standing close enough to almost reach it. A glass house. A greenhouse. Something old and beautiful and private, tucked so deeply into this garden that it seems less like something built and more like something grown. The path leads directly toward it. Of course it does. The whole garden, you understand now, has been leading here. Every curve of the path, every pool of lantern light, every breath of cool air. This is where the garden has been taking you all along. But you are in no rush to arrive. The walk itself has been too good, too deeply settling to simply leave behind. You slow your steps a little more. You let the rain continue its conversation with the leaves around you. You notice a low wooden bench to one side of the path, dark with rain, a few fallen leaves resting on its seat. You notice the way the path here is lined with clumps of ferns, their fronds still green and arching, small beads of water catching the distant glow of the glasshouse and shimmering like tiny lights. You notice a stone figure, half hidden in the hedge, a small, weathered form, barely recognizable, worn to near abstraction by decades of seasons. And it has a quality of stillness so complete that it makes your own body want to follow its example. The rain softens further, or perhaps you have simply settled so deeply into it that you no longer perceive it as separate from everything else. It is just the texture of the air now, the sound that underlies all other sounds, the constant and reliable background against which this whole quiet world is drawn. Your breathing has slowed. You notice this in the way you might notice a clock has stopped ticking, not with alarm, only with a kind of recognition, a noticing that something has shifted, settled, found its own natural pace. In, out, in, the rain, the leaves, the lantern light, the glasshouse ahead, waiting. You take another step, and another. The path narrows again as it approaches the glasshouse, enclosed on both sides now by old lavender plants gone woody with age, their leaves still releasing that faint, clean scent into the rain-washed air. The glow through the glass panels is warmer than you expected, more golden, more alive. Whatever is inside, it is sheltered. Whatever is inside, it is warm. And you are almost there. The door yields before you even fully reach for it. Old wood, swollen slightly in the damp, but opening with a willingness that feels deliberate, as if it has been waiting. And then you are inside. The change is immediate. Not dramatic, not sudden, but immediate in the way that stepping beneath a tree in a storm is immediate. The world does not disappear, but it shifts. It becomes something you are no longer inside of, but watching. The rain is still there, absolutely still there, but now it speaks a different language. It meets the glass above you with a sound like brushed velvet, a continuous, soft susurrus that rolls and whispers across the panes in slow waves. Not the rain you were walking through, a translation of it, a gentler version, filtered through glass and wood and years of accumulated quiet, until what reaches you here is only its most soothing self. You stand still for a moment and simply let the new soundscape settle over you. The glass panels are fogged toward their edges, clouded by the warmth inside meeting the cold beyond, and rainwater runs down their outer surfaces in slow, winding paths. Not the driving, purposeful lines of a window in a storm, but unhurried, wandering, each rivulet finding its own slow route toward the wooden frames below. The frames themselves are dark with moisture. Old iron, painted green so many times the paint has thickened into something organic looking, and here and there a bead of condensation forms on the inside and slides down to gather at the sill. The light inside is very soft. Somewhere in the far corner a single lamp burns low, its glow more amber than gold, and the growing things around it catch that warmth and hold it in their leaves, so the whole space seems to be producing light of its own, quietly, the way living things do. The smell reaches you fully now, and it is extraordinary. Damp greenery, warm and green and faintly sweet, layered with the deeper earthiness of wet soil in terracotta pots. Something floral just at the edge of recognition. Something mossy and ancient from the stone floor beneath your feet. It is the smell of a place that is cared for, and also deeply itself. Not manicured into neatness, but tended, alive, growing according to its own slow intentions. You breathe it in and feel something in your chest release that you had not realized you were holding. You move deeper into the space, unhurried, drawn by nothing more urgent than quiet curiosity. To your left, shelves rise along the glass wall, lined with terracotta pots of every size, some small enough to hold in a cupped palm, others wide and settled, their clay stained dark with repeated watering, their rims furred with a thin bloom of white mineral residue. The plants on these shelves are varied and close together, their leaves overlapping in a comfortable tangle. Soft rounded shapes and long architectural ones, some glossy, some matte, some so pale they are almost grey, some so deep they are almost black in this amber light. You pass your eyes slowly from one to the next, not naming them, not categorizing, simply receiving the shapes, the way you might watch slow clouds or the surface of moving water. Oval, spear-shaped, oval, spear-shaped, curling at the edge like a gentle question. Your gaze drifts. Your eyes grow heavy with the pleasant, purposeless looking. At the center of the greenhouse, a long wooden table runs nearly the full length of the space. It is worn smooth with decades of use, its surface holding the faint rings of countless pots, its grain opened by years of dampness and drying. Along it, in no particular order, seedlings in small trays send up their first true leaves, tender, impossibly delicate, tilting very slightly toward what little light the day left behind. You walk along the length of the table slowly, your fingertips just barely trailing its edge, and the wood is cool and slightly damp under your touch. deeply grounded, deeply present. The rain shifts outside. A brief thickening, a fuller drumming on the glass above, and then it settles again into its steady, whispering rhythm. You notice this the way you notice your own breathing, simply, without commentary, as a thing that happens and is good. To the right, near the far wall where the lamp burns its low amber, larger plants crowd together in comfortable proximity. A fig, its broad palmate leaves catching the warm light on their upper surfaces, while their undersides recede into shadow. Beside it, something with long, arching leaves that bend gently at their tips, as if each one is slowly, perpetually bowing. Further back, a mass of trailing stems has found its way from a high shelf and cascaded down the wall in a curtain of small, round leaves, thousands of them overlapping, a whole world of tiny green circles trembling very slightly whenever the door shifts in a distant draught. You stand before this curtain for a moment and simply watch it breathe. The storm is still happening. You can see it. The fogged glass darkening further where the rain is heaviest. The rivulets on the outer panes moving faster for a moment. The sound rising and falling in slow cycles above you. But it is entirely outside. It cannot reach you here. The greenhouse holds its warmth, holds its particular soft air, holds its green and growing quiet, entirely separate from whatever the night is doing beyond the glass. You are sheltered without being sealed away. You can hear the storm and feel none of its urgency. It is simply weather, doing what weather does, while you stand among leaves and lamplight and the long, slow scent of living things. You find a low stool near the central table and settle onto it without quite deciding to. It is solid under you, rooted. The table is at arm's reach. The lamp in the corner glows steadily. Above you, the rain continues its soft conversation with the glass, and the glass answers by sending slow, winding lines of water down toward its frames. And the frames hold everything safely, as they have for a very long time. A single large leaf near you trembles once, then stills. The lamp does not flicker. The rain does not stop. The green smell deepens, warm and patient and alive. There is nothing required of you here. No direction to move, no thing to observe, no effort to make. The greenhouse simply continues being itself around you, sheltered, breathing, quietly extraordinary in the way only very private, very tended places can be. The kind of place that seems to exist slightly outside ordinary time. The kind of place you suspect you may have needed without knowing it. Your eyes drift to the fogged glass above. The rain traces its slow paths. The lamplight is very warm. Your breathing has found the rhythm of this room, slow and full and without interruption. and the whole secret green world settles around you like something that has been waiting patiently to do exactly this. The stool seems to soften beneath you as you sit, as if the wood itself knows how to cradle weight, how to accept it and hold it without question. For a moment, you are simply upright, aware of your own shape in the air, of the way your shoulders still carry a faint memory of the outside, of moving through the rain. That memory is already beginning to fade here, like a sound heard from another room. The greenhouse breathes around you. Somewhere behind the wall of leaves, water moves through thin pipes with a hush like distant wind, then falls again, unseen, to feed roots and soil. Above you, the rain continues to bead and roll across the glass, each droplet joining another and another until they become slow silver threads that drift down the panes. They do not hurry. They do not need to. The storm can spend itself however it wishes out there. In here, time has thinned to something gentle and wide. Your hands find a comfortable place to rest, maybe on your lap, maybe lightly along the edge of the table, fingertips barely curved. Wherever they settle, they no longer feel the impulse to move. They are simply placed, quietly, like another pair of leaves among so many. The air is warm, but not heavy. It holds you the way the faint scent of crushed herbs holds at the edges of your awareness. Present, supportive, never demanding your attention. Somewhere in the soil close by, tiny organisms are at work, breaking down, building up, doing their ceaseless, microscopic tasks. You do not see them. You do not need to. It is enough to know that while you sit here and do nothing at all, the world in these pots is quietly busy, making new life, leaf by leaf, root by root. A leaf near your shoulder arches slightly over the table, its surface catching the low lamp glow. On it, a single drop of condensation has gathered along the underside, perfectly round, held in place by the delicate tension of water clinging to green. You notice it without effort, the way you might notice your own slow breath. It hangs there, almost still, gently quivering with each small current of air that drifts through the room. At some point, it is hard to say when, the tension that clung to the back of your neck has become less insistent, as if it has remembered another place it needs to be. The muscles across your shoulders slacken, piece by tiny piece. No grand gesture, just a quiet unhooking. The line of your spine softens. You lean, perhaps only a fraction, into the support of the stool, into the certainty of the floor beneath your feet, into the knowledge that nothing here is going to startle you, or hurry you, or ask you to be anywhere else. Far above, a streak of brighter sound ripples across the roof as a heavier band of rain passes over. You hear it arrive, swell, then move on, as though a vast, gentle wave is rolling across the greenhouse. Its energy never quite reaches you. It becomes texture instead, Another layer in the soft orchestra of this place, patter on glass, distant trickle of concealed water, the occasional quiet creak of wood that has soaked up decades of storms and still stands, unchanged in its purpose. Out beyond the glass, a muted flash, then the delayed, low murmur of thunder. It is not sharp. It does not tear the sky. It rolls like something large turning over in sleep, far away, comfortable in its own immense rest. The sound arrives softened by distance and rain and glass, so that by the time it reaches you, it is only a deep reassurance, a reminder that the world is still moving and changing outside, while you are not required to. Your attention, if it is still a sharpened thing at all, drifts lazily now. It moves from the single drop, clinging to the underside of the leaf, to the faint pattern pressed into the surface of the wooden table, to the blur of green shapes stacking one behind another into the dimmer corners of the greenhouse. You are not examining anything. You are simply letting your eyes rest wherever they choose to pause. Sometimes they close for a moment, gently, of their own accord. When they open again, the room has not changed. You have not missed anything. Nothing urgent has happened, or will happen here. Somewhere closer than you realized, another leaf bears several small droplets along its upper edge. They are lined up like tiny luminous beads, each holding a miniature, upside-down world inside it. A fraction of lamplight, a suggestion of other leaves, a ghost of your own outline. Now and then one droplet swells enough to tip itself free, sliding down the curve of the leaf in a slow, rounded path before it disappears soundlessly into the soil below. The leaf remains. The plant continues its patient vertical life. You remain in parallel, growing softer, quieter, heavier in your stillness. Each breath has become a little longer, though you have not tried to change it. The air comes in with a touch of coolness at the tip of your nose, touched with the scent of damp clay and green. It leaves warmer, softer, edged by a loosening you did not have to think your way into. Nothing in you is being forced. Whatever was tight can simply decide in its own time not to be. Your jaw rests. The back of your tongue settles away from the roof of your mouth, behind your closed or half-closed eyes. The world continues on, but it feels very far away now. Not rejected, just distant, like a book set down on a table across the room, waiting politely for another time. There is a sense here, beneath this old glass, that you are not alone, even in perfect solitude. The plants themselves, all their varied shapes and textures, hold a kind of quiet companionship. They have known many storms. They have heard this same rain in other years, other seasons, other nights. Their leaves have expanded and rested and shed and grown again, all beneath this same protective roof. They have learned, in the only way living things can, that weather passes, that darkness turns, that warmth returns, always. You are sitting among experts in slow endurance. The warmth of the lamp in the far corner seems to spread further now, as if the light has thinned into the air, become something you breathe as easily as oxygen. It has that honeyed quality of the very last light before sleep, when the world outside the window fades into shadow and the small circle of your own space becomes all that needs to exist. Here, that circle includes soil and clay and leaves and glass and rain, all of it gathered around you like a loose, easy embrace. Every so often, a small sound touches the edge of your awareness. The faint tap of a branch outside brushing the glass. The soft plink as a particularly large droplet finally lets go from a pane and meets the sill below. Nothing interrupts. Nothing cuts through. Each small sound folds itself into the larger hush and is carried away. Your body, which has perhaps felt like a collection of separate parts across the day, hands here, shoulders there, thoughts racing somewhere else entirely, is beginning to feel like one simple, heavy, comfortable thing now. Weight and warmth, and an easy downward pull into the safety of the stool, the floor, the earth beneath the slab stones. Gravity is no longer something to resist. It is a blanket. You can let yourself be held by it, just as the pots are held, just as the roots are held, just as the greenhouse itself is held firmly in the soil while the storm flows harmlessly around it. Another roll of distant thunder unfurls, slower this time, more like a sigh than a statement. The rain has settled into a steady, fine arrangement, less a drumming now, more a continuous brushing, as though some enormous hand is moving gently over the glass in an endless, calming stroke. The sky may be dark and restless above, but here beneath the panes, it has become only a soft, protective sound, wrapping the edges of your awareness in velvet. Thoughts, if they rise at all, feel thin and far away, like wisps of mist that drift for a moment across the surface of a pond and then dissolve without leaving a mark. You do not need to follow any of them. They can appear and be noticed and go again while your attention returns over and over to the simplest things. The gentle weight of your body, the warmth of the air, the quiet murmur of rain, the calm presence of green all around you. You might imagine, if you like, that the greenhouse itself is aware of you in some old architectural way, that the beams and glass and warmed stone floor have recognized your tiredness and have collectively agreed to shield you. They have done this for others, perhaps, over the years, held them in quiet, listened to their breathing, watched their shoulders soften, kept their resting forms dry and untroubled, while the weather did its wild, unimportant dance outside. Now they are doing it for you. There is nowhere else to be. Nowhere else you are meant to think about. The world beyond the fogged panes can look after itself for a while. For these long, drifting moments, your only work is to be here, to let the rain speak its soft language on the glass, to let your body grow heavier, your thoughts gentler, your edges blur into the warm, breathing green. If your eyes close now, they can stay closed. If they are already closed, they can sink deeper into darkness, a darkness that is not empty, but softly lined with the memory of leaves and lamplight and slow-moving water. The greenhouse will keep its watch. The plants will continue to grow imperceptibly around you. The storm will pass overhead, and you will feel none of its restlessness, only the after-image of its soothing voice. Let yourself remain here as long as you wish, resting beneath the glass, cradled by rain and roots, and the quiet patience of growing things. And whenever you need this kind of sleep again, this deep, gentle unwinding, you can return to this garden, to this hidden room of light and leaves, and let it hold you once more in perfect, peaceful shelter.